Alright, to go along with the video I made last night, I just rewatched it to see what I said, because I forgot what I said. And so I said that, what if we're waiting on the forced by death, right? We're going to be here through the requirement to buy, sell, or trade. Possibly, right? Possibly. I'm just spitballing here. And again, I don't want to necessarily believe these things. I want to believe we're gone before any of this happens. But again, just because I want something doesn't mean that's the way it's going to play out. Or just because I think something doesn't mean that's the way it's actually going to play out. So I'm just remaining open. Anyways, I said something to the equivalent of, what if we're here up until that moment, more or less, when it's required, or you're nixed, and that's when the escape is. A tremendous amount of pressure that's building right before the baby is born. What if, that doesn't it make sense? Think about it logically in your head. What would be a perfect catalyst? Because we've already had the catalyst to roll out the mark of the beast, right? That's already happened. It happened last year, March 2020, right? Oh, March, April, May, June, July, August, 5 months. Oh, it's interesting. Anyways, sorry, my brain goes all over the place, and I don't plan these things. I'm just talking. So we've already had the catalyst to roll out the mark of the beast. Okay, so what's going to be the catalyst? And then we can all see the natural progression of getting it required to buy, sell, or trade, right? It's this variant, that variant, this one, that one, everything's going to kill you, yada, 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 right? And again, none of this has to be true. And I know people like to argue that, that wouldn't happen, it's not, just because the media is saying it doesn't mean that's what people think and that's the truth, and you're very well, you're right. I would say the majority of people, I don't know. I want to believe the majority of people, but that's not what the numbers show. But then you're like, well, how skewed are the numbers, right? We saw that they skewed the numbers pretty hardcore when they were first talking about deaths and infections and all that. Specifically deaths. Skyrocketed those numbers by taking away from heart attacks, car accidents, things like that. All those got shifted over to COVID. This is gonna get flagged now. I'm probably gonna end up putting this on BitChute or something. Anyways, where was I going with that? Let's see. We were I remember where we're at. So, the catalyst. People, look, the requirement to buy, sell, or trade, right? I talked about it last video. That's in chapter 13. Correction, by the way. The beheadings are talked about in chapter 20. Okay? Now, I think it is interesting. I don't know what it means yet, but it is interesting, I think, that there's a 7-chapter gap there. I think there's something to that. Those who have kind of listened or followed along with more or less kind of the same few people I have, there's definitely something to the numbers 7 and 14, right? There's a lot of different stories in the Bible that depict those numbers being significant. So anyways, the catalyst. They need to be the requirement to buy, sell, or trade. I think that's when the woman goes into the wilderness. So that means that's when the baby's born. That's what we're waiting on. That's the escape. It's not the beheadings. It's the requirement to buy, sell, or trade. And that comes with the alphabet soup gang, the F to the dog apple. I guess we got to do it that way, like I'm talking on the phone. Frank Delta Apple makes it approval. They give it a full approval. It's no longer an emergency use only. It's now full approval. I'm not saying it is now, but in future tense. That's what, man, and that's exactly what Paul has been saying. He saw it coming in, he's thinking it's going to come in mid-August, which the video that got removed and got me in my strike, we went in a little bit of a rabbit hole there with the FD, the Frank Delta Apple, and I almost said it there. I think that's why I got flagged, because I said that. Anyways, looking into the old head of that agency and the temporary one who was put in place on the day that the Demaroni, I gotta start using better code words. March 11th, 2020 was when she was put into place as a temporary head of the FDA. That was very interesting to me. Now, what was also interesting is to come to find out that mid-August 2021, which again, it's weird because it's 1 year and 5 months. Why 1 year, 5 months? Why 17 months? Why not 18 months? Why not a year and a half? Why not 2 years? Why not just 1 year? Why is that the cutoff? I found that interesting. So, anyways, mid-August is when she's either gonna gain full power over it and be the actual head, not just the temporary, or she's gonna step down from that position and they're gonna bring someone else in. Either way, that's gonna happen mid-August, and that is gonna be a game changer for when it comes to full approval. I mean, that's going to be the next catalyst for full approval, which is going to be hopefully, I mean, it's going to, when it gets full approval, that's going to be the catalyst to make it Mando. And when that happens, I think that's what we're waiting on. And I think that's the moment that the escape happens. Hopefully. I could see it happening that way. But the question is, when's that going to happen? Now, I know a lot of us have read those articles from Army Times that they were planning on September 1st, military making it Mando for them, right? Inside the military. But it said pending FDA full approval. Shoot, I said it. Frank Delta Apple. Maybe I shouldn't say Delta. Frank Dog Apple. But then I tried looking that up because that's what I had heard was around September. And the earliest I could find was January. They're planning on January 1st, basically, the head of the new year, Gregorian New Year, to have full approval. But, I mean, we all know things can change super rapidly, especially if they say, oh, there's, an outbreak. I don't, they can say whatever they want and manipulate the population. I mean, that's what they do. So, but anyways, is that the catalyst we're waiting on? I think so. I think that's the catalyst we're waiting on. And I know there's a lot of great people out there who don't see it as the mark the way I do. And my question is, one, well, a lot of time anyways, that they think it's synonymous with beheadings. and I would say, show me how you get to that conclusion. I was there at one point too, so I get it. It's not what we see when we take a second look. Or two, synonymous with the beheadings, or okay. So we know that that's not the case, right? So they don't necessarily go hand in hand. And I know the big second one response is, well, we're not in tribulation, so the mark isn't here. And again, I don't see that anywhere. I understand that that's been the popular interpretation, that it comes midpoint, or the beheadings come midpoint, right? Maybe the beheadings come midpoint, but the requirement to buy, sell, or trade is going to come before that, right? We just kind of rediscovered that. So my question to you is, say tomorrow they make it Mando worldwide. The Frank Dog Apple gives it full approval. Within a week's time, all countries make it Mando. Has it turned into the mark now? If it is mandatory tomorrow to do anything, no change, no booster, no patch, it is what it is as it stands today, 2-dose, whatever, but they make it Mando. In your eyes, has it now become the mark of the beast? If not, why? Leave your what you think the interpretation is to the wayside. Just look at this one thing, right? Looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, talks like a duck. It's not a rabbit. So anyways, all right, take care. God bless. I might be back on here. I got about an hour drive or so. Maybe I'll jump into Discord, see if anyone wants to chat. Jesus is coming back.